Okay, so I like to say, like, most people define leadership by having a group of people and the ability to influence them. But I like to say over the years that I've noticed, and just as you grow, that leadership and true leadership is having the ability to serve others. And I like the fact that you still get your vision at the end of the day, because the vision that whatever you got your vision from, which mine would be from God, pursuing your career, your purpose, or whatever. um when you're serving others, that's when you can say that the accomplishment along the way, because you have this service that you're giving to people, it'll still in the long run, helping them will help you. So that's my definition of leadership. And I just say, just over the years, just going through experiences, you kind of learn that it's not about the what you can have following you, but it's the impact of the follow and your ability to serve it as well as receive it. Oh, I would say my style. I mean, it's a lot has to do with my personality. I just love to help people. I always try to find a way. I don't like to see people down. I don't like to see people worrying, about things. I try to just be available to help. And I think that just comes off, you know, it shows an example to people, So when I'm able to just share my experiences and just tell them to change their perspective about things and learn from those experiences so that you can grow. Like, I just think that that's how I've just kind of formed of that's my way of taking on leadership is, not to get in the pit with them, but help them out.
You know what? It'd make a major difference if everybody thought that way, Lord. Defining leadership behavior.
That defining leadership behavior, I would say, will come out in the most challenging times. Would be, like I said, just that a different perspective, like your reflective perspective on everything. Um, you have to. It's at that moment it'll determine what the outcome would be. So that challenge part, I don't like to say bad anymore, bad times. I just say challenging times. But that is going to be the defining moment for everything. How you take that situation and, adjust it, that are just accepting for what it is.
So it sounds like we can't take things at the surface, right?
Right.
Like we
Right.
got to be able to reflect further, even past our own perception, right?
Right.
Oh
And
my.
even accepting some things, you just can't. It is what it is, but still having that positive mindset about it. Like, let me learn from this, let me watch out for this, so that will help you determine the outcome. Like, I know next time if this was to happen or if this was to come up, I know, let me think about it this way and not just one way, so. I cannot just pinpoint that to one person. And a lot has to do with just life experiences, different times in your lives. People are there for that moment. Like, I could say my father was a big role, my mother was a big role. And of course, my church family, Pastor Regina, like, she's a epitome example of so much, and just those different people who you learn from what they've been through and you can take from that. Like, it don't have to be a personal one-on-one, but just situations, their words of wisdom that they have, that they tell you, you just have to be able to take heed from it and not learn to accept, like, you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to learn to accept that you have to admit when you're wrong, listen from wisdom, somebody who's been there before, and that's across all aspects. I mean, your parents, of course, we don't like to listen to our parents, but at the end of the day, when you grow up, you're like, I understand, so I think just at my big grown age in life, like, you really learning that, you know what I mean? Like, listen to wisdom. You know what I mean? It says a smart person will look at somebody and make it, make those mistakes, but a wise person look at it from afar, like, I'm not even gonna go down that way. You know what I mean? So I think that's like all of them are big, huge role models, and just finding people who are where you want to go and where you want to be in life. So like I say, not necessarily have to be a personal relationship, but you can know them by their fruits of their labor and their services and the things that they do. That's what you take heed to.
Girl, oh, okay. So you just proved the value of what we even doing right now through what you just, right?
Uh-huh. My biggest joy is, I know people sometimes think hairstyling is just some little fun job, but I think my biggest joys is knowing that I've said something to touch them, to impact them in a positive way. Like, I'm almost like a therapist sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, we hear stories, we know about their families, and just being that person that can say, Jessica, you're right, or I needed to hear that, or, I just feel so much better leaving your chair. Like, that's the biggest joys that I could say, and that I will always love to hear. You know what I mean? Like, knowing that I touched somebody in a positive way and to help them see things in a better way when they leave my chair.
My goodness. Well, you know what they say about the barbershop and the hair salon.
I'll say for me personally, um, a little bit of self doubt, because I always want to make sure I got it right. I think I've made so many mistakes in the past that now I'm just more cautious of how I handle things and what I say, because I don't want my voice to be left to deter someone to do something wrong. So it's just, that's like my little thing. People call it perfectionism, and that's with anything. I think, with entrepreneurs, you just want everything to be perfect, but it's challenging, but I just have to go to God and be like, God, I messed up, or God, show me, and take a step back and just listen for his voice and how to go about moving forward, so. So my best advice is to include God in everything. Don't worry about trends or popularity. Focus on what you know that God told you to do. It will all come together. And even in the silent seasons, which I feel like I am right now, because it was like I was doing good, then it's kind of like I'm stepping back, just rebrand and refocus. But it's just a season of building your foundation. So when your season comes, it's unshakable. Like, nothing, no one can do to stop it. So just building that foundation. We are all here in this earth to be a use for someone else. That's just how God has it. We're here to help one another. So just learn that you can't be selfish. You always have to think about, what are you leaving behind? What are you leaving for your legacy? Like, you're not going to be here forever. Like, everybody got to go. But when someone says your name, when they mention your name, what are they getting from that? You're feeling, that was a good person. This person did this for me, or is it going to be negative? I don't want to leave no negative deposits here. I want to make sure that everything that I'm attached to, my name attached to, that in the end of the story is that God gets the glory. And I could tell that God had his hand in her life. So just stay positive and keep going. That's all I can say. Keep going.
Oh,